Hey everyone, it's me, Adam P, and welcome to my review of Survivor Winners at War, Episode 2. But before we dive in, make sure you check out my review of Episode 1, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? Get that pop culture tea from me, Adam P. It definitely was slower than the first episode, but I mean, we were going at Mach 9, okay, with Episode 1 in 2 hours. We start off with this episode, and Rob gets a fire token, which I kind of didn't want him to get a fire token right now. I mean, I'm sure there was another time they could, but I was excited to see his fresh, raw reaction to Amber being voted out. I wanted him to be completely surprised by the fact, but that's okay, alright. It's still concerning, you know, he got a fire token. He was like, crap. Do I sympathize that his wife is voted out? Do I feel bad for him? I'm not sure, because he has other people, and that's his wife. No one else has their spouse on the show. And his reaction when he was like, you know what, it's a game, I get it. I think that's a good response. It is a game. Totally get why she's out. Totally get it. And the Poker Alliance kind of put her in that coffin too. And then we get idol segments, baby. Denise and Ben were out together, and Denise finds an idol. But it's a two halves, which I personally like when it's just one survivor idol. But, you know, you gotta change it up every now and then. And we've had this before where it's like someone gives a half of an idol to other people. So Denise finds it, which I'm fine with. Love my girl Denise. Ben, I actually really like that he said, no pressure on giving it to me. Like, we should talk about who we should give it to. I think that was a good move on him not to be like, okay, hand it over, you know? Especially with it being day 4. I think it was a good move not to force that half idol on him. And Denise goes and talks to her ally, Adam. And I love this moment because they're talking about who do we give it to? And Denise was like, let's give it to Barbie. Her mind, she just has an aura where you're like, I have to give this woman an idol. I have to. Half, whole, doesn't matter. I loved it so much because it's like, why Parvati out of all the people? But maybe she was like trying to build trust with Parvati. But that's, sweetheart, that's Parvati. Okay. Now on the other island, Kim finds this half an idol, which I'm kind of glad that she got it because she's on the bottom, and I really like Kim. She was a great player. But then again, it was another half thing, and she decides to go up to Sophie. Side note, Sophie, I don't know why, but she looks amazing in those glasses. She decides to talk to Sophie and was like, oh, so I have a half an idol. Here you go. And I guess I get Kim's. I guess I understand why Kim did it. She's just like, I'm trying to get in, and this is the best way I can offer to get in and not be at the bottom. But Sophie's confessional didn't look too good. She was like, you really shouldn't have told me that. Because, you know, I'm not the best person to trust you with that information. I'm glad she was honest about that. But I understand Kim was making a risk, and she wants to be with the crowd. And I think Sophie was enough of a person where she isn't such a huge threat, but she's part of the majority, or at least she was with the last vote. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what happens with that idol. Is Sophie gonna spill? I kind of hope she does. But I love Kim, so that wouldn't be good for Kim. We're back on Exile Island. We get a cute hint. There's something going on, and of course they spell it out for you, water well, and they go on an adventure, Natalie and Amber. And it was actually kind of funny neither of them decided the water well. So it was kind of luck that Natalie came across this. Now, this advantage is you can leave tribal council, you'll be safe, but you can't vote. But of course she gave it to Jeremy. So when she did that, I'm starting to think, with these set of rules, maybe it was good that Jeremy and Natalie are separated apart right away. Here's my reasoning. Natalie now has a ton of opportunities to find advantages and sell them and get the most tokens. She has the most opportunities. So maybe it's kind of an advantage that you get voted out first. It usually would be flip side, you know? If you get voted out earliest, maybe you have the easiest chance of coming back in. And on top of that, she is giving these to her number one ally, Jeremy. So in a way, it's like, okay, it was kind of a blessing in disguise that Natalie is out right away, because now she has the most opportunities to find these advantages and give them to me. Now remember, she found an idol, but she gave it to Sandra only because they said give it to the losing tribe. However though, I definitely believe she would have given it to Jeremy. So this makes me believe, this token, I don't know, this kind of makes me believe it's a little bit of a blessing when you lose an ally right away, and if you get voted off right away. So we'll see what happens. So it's still up in the air, but it's just kind of, Okay, then we have a cute little moment with Tony's ladder, which was like, okay, I literally thought he was gonna fall. I was like, girl, you about to take a tumble, Scarlet. But that was a really good segue to get into the Cops Are Us alliance. But they're kind of like, oh, no one's gonna see it coming that we're working together. But it's kind of like, yeah, I definitely see it coming. But from what I remember in Kagion at the reunion, they had like a Twitter fight. So, but now I guess they're super cool and tight. But you never know. Maybe they're just hinting at that they're gonna go far together. I'm not sure. But if I was on that island, I would be like, yeah, they're gonna work together. Come on. But you also gotta know it's Tony. He's gonna tell everyone he's gonna work with them. So then we get to the immunity challenge, and this is the moment I've been waiting for all episode. What is Rob's reaction to Amber being gone? Devastated, of course. But he has Parv. That is a good thing. He fell back on Parv. So this immunity challenge was interesting. I really thought it was gonna be a neck and neck moment, but Rob took a risk with the organizing of the puzzles, and it was a risk, but no. It was a blowout. Still, I wouldn't say blowout, because they still made it to the puzzle portion. Okay, so now Soleil, sadly, is going to tribal council, and that my girl Parvati's on it. So I'm like, oh, great. We can't have one moment to relax. But this is when the episode got crazy, and this is when it got really exciting, because right away it was like Danny was like, y'all don't like me, and I'm getting voted out, so screw you guys, and I'm gonna go and talk to the new school people. It was like, okay, all right, let's do it. Because I don't know, if I was Danny and I saw those three people talking and my alliance, old school alliance, talking, well, just go up to them. If they act weird, then I would be paranoid, but just go up to them. This was not a good moment to turn on your alliance, because hello, all these new school people are like, they're coming after us, so let's just go with Danny, and we know Danny's not with us, and then old school people are like, oh, you don't want to be with us, Danny. D-A-N-N. Okay, the worst moment that Danny did was when she was talking to Ethan. He's also kind of a king. I like him a lot too. Very cool, calm, collected. And Ben was right there too. And she was like, well, Rob wants to keep this old school. And Ethan was like, that was her final nail in the coffin. I loved her on Guatemala. She was silent queen of stealth. Then my heart rate goes up again, because what do you know? They bring up Parvati's name. Parvati stands. We literally can't have a moment to relax. We can't. We cannot. It is hard being a Parvati stand. At Tribal Council, that was definitely the best part of the whole episode, because Ben brought his big mouth and he spilled what was going on, but it kind of backfired on him, because you're messing with the best Ben. And I thought it was funny that Rob was like, okay, everyone, like, release your bags. Release them. Let's see who has the idol. And Queen Denise kept her mouth shut. Oh, such a good, I love that moment, because she just, quiet as mouse, do not rock the boat, keep that idol hidden in your palm. And then Adam too had to hide his half too. So I love that moment. And you know, I really was convinced that it was going to be Ben for a second. I was like, because I was kind of like, I don't want it to be another woman. Like, that's too bad. We're already down. The first three boots are iconic females that I enjoy. Danny gets the boot 8-1. Like, yikes, girl. Unanimous. Danny gives, or sorry, Danny bequeaths her token to Denise, which was kind of like, okay, work. I'm cool with that. That's fine with me. One of my favorite parts of the entire episode is when they do the confessional when they're getting voted off, and then the flute plays in the background, and they're showing everyone's votes. So I really am gonna miss them showing people's votes. I love seeing that part. But you can look it up on Wikipedia. So overall, it was definitely an exciting episode still. It just had a slow burn and an up to a big crackle. Loved it. I kind of want to see another Decal Tribal Council. I think things are really going to explode. I want to see King Yule work his magic again. There's nobody in this tribe that I completely dislike, but maybe my opinion will change throughout this season. Who knows? Well, thank you guys so much for checking out my review of episode 2 of Survivor Winners at War. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode and how the season's going. Especially, let me know what you think of fire tokens. It's very, I don't know, it's very interesting. Lastly, make sure you hit me up on my social media. And I'll see you guys next week for Survivor Winners at War.